And we are back. Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Hot Jobs with Higher Military. How are you? It's really lovely to see you today, and we are so glad to be sharing the next 30 minutes with you. If you're new to us, welcome. It's great to see you. You may be unfamiliar with what we do here on Hot Jobs, so let me share a little. My name's Lucy. I am an active duty spouse currently stationed at Eielson Air Force Base, Fairbanks, Alaska for my sins, and we've been here for a couple of years. And we like to, on these Hot Jobs episodes, talk to you about your concerns, your questions. If you're looking for any advice or encouragement, if you've got any information that you want from us, we love to share that with you. In addition, we talk you through our newest and greatest direct hire opportunities, as well as our SkillBridge internship opportunities. And boy, do we have some roles for you today. Hey, everybody. It's so lovely to see you. Amber, you're watching in from North Carolina. Jason from San Diego. Julie in South Carolina. Gosh, all over the country here. So if you are going to throw a comment for us today, we love to receive your comments. Tell us where you are watching from. If you are looking for a SkillBridge internship or a permanent position, if you are being affected by the Air Force's stop at the moment with regard to the orders, we're keen to see how that's affecting people and if you're okay with that. And also, if there is a specific industry or role you are looking for, definitely throw that in the comments, because if we don't have vacancies in that realm with those titles today, we use this information to go out and talk to our corporate and strategic partners about the sorts of things that you are looking for in the locations that you are looking to move to. We really do want to buy and recruit on your behalf. So we definitely do cherish that information that you share with us. Jessica, it's really nice to see you. Jasmine, great to see you too. Oh, we've got 4 more in the house. Hi, Ioannis. So we are here for the whole of the military community. We have roles for transitioning service members. We love to support our military spouse community as well as the veterans among us. So definitely do join us for this 30-minute ride. You may have seen in the event that we posted before we went live today that there are a few URLs and helpful links and resources. So I wanted to have and give those a bit of a shout out today. So first of all, if you go through this 30 minutes and you think, oh gosh, that was nothing for me, don't despair. There are 2 things that I encourage you to do. First of all, go to our careers page. It's on our website, which is highermilitary.us, and take a look. There's 2 buttons, one for jobs, one for SkillBridge. Have a look. Again, if there's nothing there for you, then I really encourage you to join our talent pool. And what that means is you can join the SkillBridge one or the direct hire one. We send regular updates with regard to our newest and greatest positions. So we just keep you in the loop and keep in touch with you. In addition, we encourage you to subscribe to our monthly newsletter. We share some really good information on those, and they are absolutely job seeker centric, job seeker within the military population centric. So that's something you really would benefit from reading. There's a link on how to target your resume. And if you are about to submit any application or you have plans to in the next couple of weeks, stop. Read this first and then make your application, because we really want your submission to count and we really want it to work for you. And it is more than just a case of throwing your resume across. It's really taking a look at that job description and identifying how you can maximize success and submit your way through to an interview by really creating and targeting, tailoring an application that's going to support you being one of the best candidates. And finally, how to create an effective LinkedIn profile. We all need one of those. If you are interested in maximizing LinkedIn for networking, for job search, for building your population and your network in this military field, if you are transitioning soon or in the next year or so, definitely do take a look at the USO Transitions Mastering LinkedIn webinar. Gosh, that's a mouthful. The next one is on August the 17th. Actually, the last one was this morning. So next one's August the 17th at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Our CEO, Mike Quinn, delivers those. And I promise you, it's 2 hours of information that will be incredibly overwhelming, but really will change the way that you use and you position this platform in your life. So definitely have a look at that. Hey, Christian, you're looking for SkillBridge. Great. We've got some roles that we're looking to share today. Justin, really nice to see you here. So I've talked enough for now. I am going to hand over to the rest of my colleagues who are here with us today. Kate, over to you.
Well, hello, everyone. So great to be here with our community, as always. Kate Wood, I'm the recruiting manager here at Higher Military. I'm an Army vet. I'm now on the military spouse side. My husband's still active duty, and we are living that Oconus lifestyle. We're currently stationed overseas in Panama. So really enjoying our time here, exploring the culture. We were just talking earlier about just the differences and things that come along with Oconus life. So if anyone has been stationed to Oconus or is currently Oconus, I'd love to connect with you and just share where you are in the world in the chats, which would be great. Really excited to share some direct hire opportunities that we have recently come upon here at our team. So I will share those later, but I will pass it over to Brandy Walker for her introduction.
Thanks, Kate. And I know you're having a great time, Oconus, because we've seen the pictures and it looks fantastic. So I'm Brandy Walker up here in the Pacific Northwest in Washington State. We are retired Army. So did my stint in the Army as well and spent majority of my time actually as a military spouse. So we are living up here in a really nice life where my husband actually is with Microsoft and did a skill bridge program. So happy to be here. And I have some direct hire roles I'll be talking about today. And then I'll pass it over to Buff, who lives not too far from me, probably like an hour and a half to pack, depending on traffic.
You're right, Brandy, depending on traffic. Big highlight there. Hello, my name is Before Agby, but my colleagues and people that know me in my inner circle, they call me Buff. So I might see some comments in there from Buff from JBLM. But I'm a retired veteran. I'm 6 months now, retired veteran, but I've been in the higher military talent acquisitions field for a year now because I was able to leverage my skill bridge internship. It was a fantastic experience. I spent 20 years as a combat medic, and I like to highlight some of that stuff in what I do. But I learned a lot from my skill bridge and sitting on this side of the table that I'd like to share with you guys. And I'll be sharing 3 skill bridge roles today, specifically, in one out of Tacoma. I'll be speaking about. But I'm excited to be here, and let's rock and roll, Lucy.
Thank you, guys. So before we get going today, we've already had a question that I wanted to respond to, which is from Shondell. She said, my husband is recently retired. Will I still be considered as a military spouse? Absolutely. I think we all agree here, once a spouse, always a spouse. So definitely want to include anybody who has, we're here for, anybody who has touched the military. You've lived that life at some point in time. So let's just make that clear. So as we get going today, as we start sharing roles, if you are interested in hearing more, drop a comment as we speak and just say which role specifically rather than interested or this one. And we ask you to do that because LinkedIn is a beast and it doesn't like us sharing URLs in real time. And as we press the enter button, it deletes it simultaneously. So we come back after the event and we just drop some information. And that goes for everybody who asks questions throughout the live. If we don't have the opportunity or the chance to get back to you and answer, we do come back at a later date just to give you that information, and we'll tag you too so that it appears in your notifications. So we have multiple SkillBridge internship opportunities to share first of all. But Buff, before you get going, why don't you share with our audience who SkillBridge applies to, who is eligible, and what it actually means?
Thank you, Lucy. I'll be happy to. For SkillBridge internship opportunities, they are for active duty service members only. I know we have a lot of questions for spouses and veterans, but the SkillBridge program is for active duty transitioning service members. It's typically when it's from calculated from 180 days of service. So your last 6 months of service, that is your window to conduct a SkillBridge. And what we typically see is folks that a premium timeline for them is they actually do 90 to 120 days of actually time in with the company to see if you're a good fit for them and they're a good fit for you as well. So again, it's 180 days in that window. Typically, we see people do about 90 to 120 days of SkillBridge time with the company. Let's see that. And again, that's time is calculated from your ETS, retirement date, or EAS as well. And our internships, we strive for high probability of full-time offers upon completion. And those are really performance-based. So if you're performing and you're meeting your ROIs and you like the culture and the climate, we have a high percentage rate for job offers post SkillBridge opportunities. After that, I want to get right into it and share my first of 3 roles. The first role is a construction superintendent with a construction contracting company here based out of Tacoma, Washington. So if you're in the Seattle area or Tacoma area, this is for you. It's a hybrid remote role. So you'll be working on site when need be, but mostly on hybrid remote based on the need for the company. The responsibility for this role, you're the superintendent. You'll be overseeing all phases of construction project. You'll be doing the interview and hiring of site workers. You'll be approving time cards and requests for time off. And you'll be preparing the schedule and assignments, communicating and enforcing standards at all the job sites and standards. The qualifications for this role is 5 years direct experience independently managing projects, experience as a lead project manager in construction management, experience in federal civil agencies or the GSA. An ideal candidate is somebody with a civil facilities or horizontal engineer background or technical engineer surveyor or construction background concentration for this role. Again, this work will be conducted hybrid remotely and on site as needed, but you must reside in Tacoma, Seattle corridor on the I-5 for this role. If you're interested in this role, go ahead and put in the comments, superintendent, and we'll get back with you on this one. The next role I'll be sharing with you guys is a production supervisor for a company, awesome company, our trusted business partner, Masonite. This one is located in Moreno Valley, California. The responsibility for this role, you'll oversee planned activities. You'll be supervising all production and delegating work assignments to measure all key performance indicators, concentrating mostly on safety, quality, and production. The qualifications for this one, and this is a must-have, is you must be bilingually Spanish for this role. A degree is not required, but is preferred in a related field. Minimum of 3 years of leadership experience in supervisory role, and a little bit of experience in the manufacturing environment. So this is a lean manufacturing company, and if you're exposed to the Lean Six Sigma platform, it's definitely a plus in this role. You also must be computer proficient in all MS Teams background, and previous exposure to the Kronos as a time management tool is a plus for this role as well. If you're interested in this role, production supervisor for Masonite in Moreno Valley, California, go ahead and leave that in the comments and we'll get back to you as well. The last and final SkillBridge role for this one is an information security manager. I know in the Army we call those guys InfoSec managers. This role is in Tampa, Florida. This is a hybrid remote role as well. Monday and Friday you'll be remote. So the tail ends of the week you'll be remote. Tuesday through Thursday you'll be on site. For the responsibilities for the ISM is you'll be coordinating all the IT technical activities and implementing and managing security infrastructure and providing a regular status and service level reports to the management. So if you work in the SIG shop or the communication shop, this is for you. Qualifications for the role is BA or BS in IT preferred, not mandatory, or equivalent work experience is a must for this role. One of the following certificates is applicable is needed for this role. You don't have to have all of them, but again, if it's work related for this equivalent for work experience, reach out and we'll connect you to it. Some of the certifications they're looking for is the CISP, HCIA, HCIH, and also we've had some inquiries about the C++. That'll work as well. What they're also looking for in this role is a minimum of 5 years of IT experience with at least 2 years of experience in supervisory management. Experience in system technology testing, pen testing, penetration vulnerability testing. If you have a background in that, this is the role for you as well. Again, those are 3 roles I share with you for SkillBridge internships. That's just touching the tip of the iceberg. If you're looking for more roles at SkillBridge internship, you can look at our roles at hiremilitary.us under the internship tab. That's all I have, Lucy. Thank you.
Thank you so much. So that was the Information Security Manager with Masonite in Tampa, Production Supervisor with Masonite in Moreno Valley, California, and the Construction Superintendent with a construction contracting company in Tacoma, Washington. So Super appreciate your time there, Buff. And like Buff said, this is just a highlight reel that we share today. Don't just think, oh, they shared 3 internships, 3 vacancies, there's nothing for me. Definitely do take a look at our website. And we are updating our website on a daily basis regularly. So maybe bookmark it or join our talent pool so that you do hear about our newest vacancies and internships as they come along. So for direct hire roles, let me go over to the direct hire team. Brandy Walker, what's going on today?
Thanks, Lucy. So I actually have a brand new role. It's not on the website yet. So I'm waiting for a little bit more information, but I wanted to go ahead and put it out there because this is an HRIS, which is Human Resources Information Systems Analyst. So it is an HR role. That's what we're looking for. It is a temporary role. It's fully remote. There is potential to be hired on full time. It's really going to depend on the contract, how well you mesh with the team as well. That is a big part of culture. In this role, you'll manage and oversee maintenance and accuracy of employee data and reporting, manage all aspects of the HRIS system, including employee self-service, performance, compensation, time and attendance, as well as supporting configuration and management of HR systems to achieve efficiency. What you're going to need: a bachelor's degree in HR, obviously, because it is a human resources role, HRIS, or a related field. You're going to need 3 to 5 plus years of HR experience with a proven track record of modeling HR best practices. You're going to need to be proficient in Office with a focus on Excel and PowerPoint for data analysis and documentation. So that Excel is important. Having that data analyst background, having HR background, if you're looking for something like that, definitely put it in the comments, the HRIS analyst role, and I will connect with you. Like I said, this is not on the site yet. It is a temporary role with the potential to be a full-time later down the line. That is my first one. And the second one is the industrial maintenance technician in Nashville, Tennessee. In this role, you're going to help drive the preventive maintenance plan to achieve maximum equipment efficiency during the production of vinyl records in Nashville, Tennessee. Very on brand with Tennessee records, music. It's fantastic. So what you're going to need is 2 years of experience developing preventive maintenance plans, troubleshooting mechanical breakdowns, electrical diagnosis and installation, and reading electrical schematics. So definitely need to be able to read those things. It's not just working on them, being able to interpret that information. So that is really it. So I had the HRIS analyst and the industrial maintenance technician. Please, if you're interested, drop something in the comments. We'll connect with you and take it from there. And that is all I have, Lucy. Back to you or Kate. I'm happy with whichever direction we're going because I know Kate's got some exciting things to talk about.
I do. So thanks so much, Brandy. And just as a reminder, the roles that Brandy and I are mentioning are open to veterans, transitioning service members, and military spouses, ideally those that are currently active, job seeking, and are available to start in one of these exciting new roles within the next 1 to 2 months. So as Brandy mentioned, we have some really exciting roles. If you have been following myself or Michael Quinn, Lucy Robinson the last couple of days, we have a really exciting announcement that we are supporting the U.S. Army Transition Assistance Program in hiring for several roles across different Army installations. This is something we're really excited to do, obviously, because it's something we are passionate about in giving back to the military community and being able to bring people into our organization that are directly impacting and supporting our U.S. Army soldiers and their families on a day-to-day basis. So we have some really great opportunities. I'm just going to share the wave tops, just some highlight reels about the titles of the roles and the locations that we're hiring at. So if any of these are of interest to you, just type TAP into the chats and we'll be able to reach out to you directly and provide more information. Or you can always go to hiremilitary.us, and all of these current openings are posted directly there with full position descriptions as well as the salaries that are listed as well. So we have several roles that we're recruiting for. We have financial counselors, education counselors, administrative specialists, career transition counselors, and career counselors that will be working directly with the soldier and family activities center as well. The bases that we have openings on, we have Fort Carson, Colorado, Schofield Barracks, Hawaii, as well as Fort Shafter, Hawaii, Fort Moore or Benning, Georgia, Joint Base Langley, Eustis, Virginia, Fort Noacelle, or as it was previously called, Rucker, Alabama, Fort Stewart, Georgia, and Walter Reed, Maryland as well. Again, we are hiring for multiple opportunities at these bases, and these personnel will be directly working at those TAP offices, but you will be a part of our company, which is really, really exciting. I know, Lucy, maybe you have some more to share on these opportunities as well. I'll give you, if you wanted to share anything on those positions too.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, we will potentially be getting different locations over the next week or so as well, but those are the ones that we are starting with. And what I would say to you is these are opportunities that need to be filled ASAP. So if you are interested, we would love resume submissions or applications from people who are available almost immediately. Unfortunately, if you have got availability in the next couple of months and you're not free until October or November to start, that isn't going to work right now. However, we would still really love to hear from you, because we can put you in our metaphorical back pocket and keep you updated if anything changes as your availability comes. We are incredibly excited about this opportunity, and I've seen Cynthia there in the comments saying, come work for TAP. Yes, definitely come work for TAP. We are really excited to be able to place Tenova staff. And if you're like, Tenova, but you're higher military, what does that mean? Tenova is our parent company, and that is the brand that we use in the GovCon space. So same company as us. You will get to be a co-worker of us, but you will be on installation. You'll still get the education and training that we provide as well. So definitely part of this wider higher military extended family. And we are just super excited to get going on that. So as a consequence today, we've shared quite a bit of information. If any of that is of interest to you, please do throw a comment in the chat. We would love to hear from you. Those roles are all up on our website as well. So take a look. We have all of the benefits, the salaries align there. It's a government contract, so the salaries are mandated. So take a look and see if anything is of interest. We have had quite a few questions today. So for the next 8 minutes or so, Kate, Brandy, Buff, I'm going to fire these at you. So let's get going, shall we? Right, first one. Oh, this is a great one, actually. I'll start off. So Joel has asked, how would we transfer responsibilities we may have had in the military into jobs in the private sector? I've got a great resume built and a lot of experience from the military, as well as like after I got out. I'm also starting an MBA program at the end of August. I think this is a wonderful question to get going on, because it is a question that we get asked an awful lot of the time. And I want to pivot and reposition what everybody here thinks a resume is. So first of all, a resume is not an encyclopedia or a bibliography or a Wikipedia of your work history. It's not. A resume is a document that tells the reader, so tells the recruiter, exactly why you and your experience is relevant and would make you a successful and the best candidate for the role. So if you're like, yeah, okay, whatever, I don't really understand what that means, I'll explain further. And our document that we have in our resources section on our website, the targeting resume one, really does break this down. So really what you want to do, it's not about you translating your military experience and putting it on your resume. It's about you reading as many job descriptions as you possibly can around the roles that you're looking to apply to, and seeing what language they use to identify and deliver the experience that they're looking for, and then lifting their language and using that in your resume. So when you are submitting a resume, I don't necessarily need to know what you've done in the last 20 years. It's interesting and all that, but I can see that on your LinkedIn profile. What I need to know is your experience that is relevant to the role that I'm recruiting for. So what I want you to do is I want you to look at my qualifications that I've listed out, and I want you to make sure that you have highlighted those in your professional summary. Think of it like a matching pairs game. If I've put X, you need to have X on your resume. If I've put Y, you need to put Y on your resume. And the reason we do that in the professional summary, specifically the qualifications, is you want to capture my interest. You want me from the get-go to go, oh my gosh, this is a really good candidate. I need to read further. And then what you want to do is take a look at the roles and responsibilities in the job descriptions and make sure that everything that we have put down, if you've done it previously, making sure that in language that we have used, don't assume that because you've written the same task but in different words that we will know that those are the same things. Especially if the recruiter that you're submitting to does not have any military experience. They're not going to understand acronyms. They're not going to understand 10M for 10 million. You want to change that to multi-million. You want to make sure that you have put the relevant experience in so that when we look through, we think, gosh, this is a really, really great candidate. But also to answer your question, Joel, I would definitely start having conversations with people who have transitioned out or people who are already in these roles to ask them how they positioned themselves. What are, how, take the tasks and duties that you have got from your military experience and how you could articulate that into civilian speak, as it were. So there's multiple ways of doing it. But if you don't have the time to start networking and having conversations with people in role, definitely take a look at our document, How to Target a Resume, and it will break it all down for you. So that's my answer to the first question. Okay, I'm going to throw this one at you because I've just talked for a long time. Marshall asked, but what if you attained a higher level degree even, a master's degree, and the role only needs a bachelor's degree? Does that make you overqualified?
That's a great question. In education, it's always the balance between education and experience, I think, when it comes to roles. And I think when there's degree requirements, the baseline has to be met a lot of times for that. If you have a degree above that, I don't think that it makes you overqualified for the position, because a lot of times those roles will still come down to experience. Because you can have a master's degree, but only have maybe 1 or 2 years of relevant experience in a position. So I think that there's definitely a balance between the education and the experience required for a role. And like Lucy mentioned before, I think a lot of times when it comes down to if you have questions surrounding intricacies of roles, it's always great to speak to people that are in similar positions and find out what they're experiencing or what they experienced when they were applying for similar roles. Or if they're in a leadership position that is in a supervisor of the role that you are applying for, they can really help you to gain some clarity around the degree requirements or the experience requirements and how that translates or relates specifically to the position that you are applying for.
So Kate, you wanted to add a little bit more about TAP as well. What was it that you wanted to say?
Yes, so I am so excited to see everyone commenting TAP in the chats. And we are also getting a lot of responses directly to our applications on our careers page. So if you are interested and you feel like you're qualified in those positions and you can start immediately and you are on site already at one of those locations, please be a proactive job seeker and just apply directly to the careers page. Don't wait for us to come back and share the link in the comments with you or reach out to you. Or if you've already maybe sent us a direct message on LinkedIn saying, hey, I'm interested in this role, please be proactive job seeker and just apply directly to the position with your targeted resume, answering those questions that we have in the application, because we're definitely already seeing a really great response in terms of these positions. And if you are qualified, we want to get you in for an interview and then push forward immediately into that application process. So just a tidbit about being a proactive job seeker. Head to hiremilitary.us. You can filter by location, you can filter by role, and apply directly there.
So we've had quite a few questions. We've got 2 more minutes. I'm going to answer these 2 very quickly. So Ben's asked, great information, Lucy. He didn't write that, but I'm going to put that in as the caveat first of all. But how do you find and connect with these people when it comes to these roles? Awesome question, Ben. It's not, when I talk about it, it kind of sounds easy, but it's really not. What I would say to you is go to Mike Quinn's Mastering LinkedIn webinar. It's August the 17th, 11 a.m. Eastern time. We can drop a link in here afterwards. But if you want to, you can go onto the USO Transitions events, and it's hosted there. You've got to scroll down a bit because it's in a month's time. Mike talks you through exactly how to do that, how to use LinkedIn to network with people who are veterans, who are in roles that you are interested in going into, and connecting and building relationships with them so that you can start talking to them rather than searching for somebody on LinkedIn and then doing the metaphorical social media version of tapping them on the shoulder and saying, hey, stranger, will you talk to me? It's not going to work, is it? Because we wouldn't necessarily, if somebody stopped us on the street and said, hey, you've got a great job, how did you get that? You're going to be like, oh, don't know you, and keep on walking potentially. So that's what I would encourage and suggest joining that webinar. And somebody else earlier asked, are there any recorded versions of that? Unfortunately not, because the USO delivers those. They have them just as live versions. So you do have to go to the event. So that's what I would encourage you to do there. And then finally, there was one further question I am just looking for right now. Edward asked, what version of the resume do you want in the talent pool? Just your generic master one. But what I would say to you is make sure that it has sufficient information on it so that we can understand why you might be a good fit at first glance for specific roles. But if there are multiple areas that you are looking for because you have experience across multiple different jobs or positions, you can put that in the chat, the narrative, as you make the application. But that is for us really to, at a first glance, say, oh, hey, you know what, Edward said he was interested in an ops manager role in Augusta, Georgia. Let's reach out to him and we'll have a conversation. Or we can send you emails about our newest vacancies and internships. Kate, Buff, Brandy, anything more to add before we say goodbye?
I think we're good.
We are good. Thank you, everybody. It's been a busy one yet again, and we so love your questions. Please keep them up. Like Kate said, if you're interested in any of the TAP roles or any of our roles, be proactive. Take a look at our website, hiremilitary.us. They are under the permanent jobs, and we hope to see your application soon. Take care. Bye-bye.